What is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. But today we got Battle Birds podcast on for the post game. And oh my God, was this a game? A game that kind of did not go our way at all. Let me be honest, the penalties that the Ravens got kind of let us keep creeping back into this game. But we got the guys out here are really watching these games and just not really watching it to my understanding. But let me just say this. A lot of up and downs. A lot of up and downs. Shout out to the defense for being on the field for 36 minutes and still able to get stops when we need them to. Shout out to the offense for battling back. But we knew if we were going to get this win, we had to play a perfect game. We had to get our opportunities, which we didn't do at times, but we did. I have a question. I want you guys to actually answer that for me after this too, because I don't know. Was it me or did they really not play Travis Fulgham in the first quarter and the beginning of the second quarter like they should have? Because I didn't see him on the field. I started seeing him at the end of the second and the third and the fourth. So I want you guys, when you guys get to going, let me know what you think about them playing him, because I don't think they gave him any snaps in the first quarter. However, missed opportunities was the thing of this game. But once we rally back in, for those who were with me in the play-by-play, shout out to you guys. I said this before the two-point conversion happened. I said, you got to roll them out. You got to roll the pocket. Carson Wentz single-handedly, with no offensive line, brought us back into this game. And we end up losing it. But an RPO takes 1 second. 1 second that we did not have with this offensive line. Every single play that Carson Wentz made in the fourth quarter was under duress, was under pressure. We did not have a second to give up, and that RPO fake gives up a second. I think that was one of the most disgusting play calls. I was left silent, didn't know what to say because they blew it up because they knew it was coming. Miles Sanders gets hurt. Boston Scott in there by himself. No. You roll Carson out. Either his legs get us the win or his arm. But we live or die by Carson, not an RPO that maybe they were fighting over a little bit. All that disgusting stuff. Go ahead and give me your thoughts. Bad play call. Horrible play call.
Go ahead, Gates.
Look, the play call at the end of the game was trash. I'm just going to be honest. It was bad. It was a bad play call. It was the same exact play call that got stuffed on the first 2-point conversion, which
By
made no
Jalen
sense.
Hurts.
Yeah, by Jalen Hurts, but still made no sense. Like, neither one of those guys are going to convert that because the field's been shortened. It's a lot harder to operate RPOs down there like that. Like, you get them on, like, I could understand if you rolled a boot or did something to get them on the edges to, like, hey, if you don't see it, go for it, Carson. Win or lose, go for it. If you don't see it, go for it, Jalen. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't want to focus too much on the negatives because, like, I just, the play calling is just really questionable. It's getting really frustrating. But I will say this. Carson Wentz is a fighter. That kid was out there throwing down today. He did not want to lose this game. He was fighting till the end. 40-yard runs. I mean, throwing passes that, like, I'll be real with you. I was like, man, it's been a long time since we saw this side of Carson, right? Early in the season, we weren't getting that Carson. And it's frustrating, man, because I thought the 2-quarterback set. Dude, I became a believer. They took me to church today with that 2-quarterback set because, man, it works. Carson is a fighter. He's out there blocking dudes down the field. Jalen Hurts has really good eyes. Even my camera's trying to shut me down. Like, I was a believer in it, man. We need to run. Come on, camera. You tripping today, camera. All right. I was a believer in it, man. I thought it worked. I thought it worked well. Like, you keep going to that, man. Do a series or two like that. Keep that going. Like, it worked. It was hard for the defense to defend that. And let's be real. It is necessary to do that if your offensive line could get any push? Probably not. But, dude, Mon Brown just was not good for 3/4 of this game. He wasn't.
Thanks.
Brett Toth was not ready. He wasn't ready. I thought he did okay given the circumstance. I'm not going to kill the kid, but let's face the facts, guys. Andrew Dillard, out. Isaac Suamalu, out. Brandon Brooks, out. Lane Johnson, out. Like Matt Pryor, out. Jack Driscoll, out. Jason Peters, out. Dude, how many offensive linemen do you need us to go down before, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, I'm frustrated, man. I'm gonna kick the Fresh for having aneurysm.
Before Fresh goes, do you know what Jamon Brown did right after the game? He went and took a picture with Lamar Jackson. The guy who gave up the most pressures for the Eagles runs to the sideline, his big old butt, and takes a picture with Lamar Jackson. Go ahead, Fresh. That's disgusting.
Who did that?
Jamon Brown, the guy who came in and let more pressures than the disgusting. Just disgusting. Go ahead.
Oh man.
You used it all. You used it all for your video. Hey, we got
No. I ain't use it all. I mean, the video is uploading right now. After we get finished with this live, make sure y'all go check my first reaction video ever. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna say is, it's a reason I got a smirk on my face. Can we end the Carson Wentz discussion right now? Can we end that? He's not a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. He's not a guy that's going to put his team on his back. You just named Gate City 7 offensive linemen out. Miles Sanders out in the second half after he fumbles the ball running. It was a great run, but after he fumbles the ball, not only that, let's not forget that he dropped a touchdown. Right?
Big time.
Let's not forget that Hightower dropped it could have been a touchdown. We don't know. But it damn sure was at least a 50-yard bomb.
In the breadbasket.
Let's talk about Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz gets hurt. And it seems like, I don't know what y'all see, but what I see is it seems like the more people that get hurt, Carson Wentz ups his level. And that's what you want from your franchise quarterback. The play calling was trash, other than them implementing Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? I thought as though if you're going to go all out, have Jalen Hurts and I said that in my reaction video, have him in on a 2-point conversion. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that what's working, you keep doing that. That wasn't working, that RPO type of stuff that everybody calling for, because that's kind of won us the Super Bowl. Everybody calling for that. That was not working. You know what I mean? So if Carson Wentz is flinging the ball all over the field with dudes we don't even know, he threw a touchdown to somebody that just came up from the practice squad again. Again. I'm not going to spend too much time on the Carson haters. I'm not going to do that. We talked about this. I ain't going to do that. But what I am going to say is this. You just witnessed a franchise quarterback, an elite quarterback, put his team on his back. And what I can say, we didn't come up with the win, but I feel as though none of this at all is Carson Wentz's fault. I got to put a lot of blame in the defense. I know they put up a 30 burger. You know what I mean? They did that to us. But I actually thought they kind of played good. You know what I mean? I'm Jim, hats off to you. I ain't gonna lie, it was shaky. Yeah, it was shaky. You can go like this. You can go like this, but I thought as though with the situation that they was put in, first of all, with the turnover, with the fumble. Now, a lot of people want to say, "Oh, Carson was fumbled." That was a fumble. You got to protect the football. I'm not going to sit here and try to cry to the babies and say that you shouldn't fumble. But that was a great play. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't even gonna lie, that was a great play. Carson Wentz, you need to wrap that up. But even though the defense, I kind of knew that they was gonna give a touchdown right there. You know what I mean? It just seemed like it. But they really held Lamar Jackson kind of in check, other than that one running touchdown. And when you look at it, like, he's going to do that on anybody. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? What I can say right now is, looking forward, when we start getting guys back, Carson Wentz is going to be a problem, bro. We got a Thursday game coming up. You know, hopefully you guys will be able to go pregame and postgame.
I'm gonna be everything. I don't care.
You know, I'm gonna be here. You know, inshallah, Allah willing, I'm going to be here. But what I can say is this, man. I'm looking at my quarterback, and he's looking like he's coming back into the zone, like seriously. And I'm mad about the loss, but I am actually happy from what I've seen from my quarterback, man. Like no turnovers other than a fumble, no interception, should I say? The offensive line was horrible. Gate City, I gotta call you out. You wanted Brown in so bad. How did he look?
Like a damn brown stain on a underwear, bro.
I'm done for right now. Go ahead.
He looked like a brown stain on underwear, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
He was bad, man. He should have been asking Calais Campbell for his autograph. Forget Lamar Jackson.
No. He's seen enough Calais Campbell. That's the thing, though. Calais Campbell was all up in him all game.
Dude, like that was.
But yeah, you're right.
I never wanted Matt Pryor in a game.
No. Get that shout out. Yeah, get that. Hold on, Gates. Let him get that shout out real fast.
I don't know who it's for, but it's probably for one of you guys.
Don't matter, man. Don't matter.
Shout out to Jim Schwartz. He said, "I don't want to hear my name this week." Shout out to you. He was in my play-by-play. He was giving me it was funny because people in my play-by-play are like, yo, Jim Schwartz. It was great. Hey, shout out to you for, just being here, talking your talk, and that's it. But I just want to say one thing. Like I said, look, there's a lot that goes into this. The Ravens let us creep back in because of the penalties. They had like 12 for $150 or something like that.
And they had some misdraws too.
Yeah,
on a defensive side. I seen 2 PIs. I mean, we scored on that possession, but I seen 2 PIs that should have been called. But go ahead, bro. My bad.
No, you're right. You're right. Listen, at the end of the day, it comes down to Ravens had some mishaps. The Eagles had some mishaps. But here's the difference of the game. The Eagles' mishaps costed them the whole first half. John Hightower would have been a touchdown. It would have dang sure been a 50-yard first down. Do the Ravens score after that? Do we score after that? This is stuff we do not know. However, Miles Sanders is more of the known. It would have been a touchdown if he can locate the ball. A guy I was saying you got to get involved in the passing game. Go ahead and let us down. Now, I will say he played pretty good. He got injured. It is what it is. All right? So let's just talk about this. The Ravens had their mishaps in the second half with the pass interferences and the blown coverages. We had ours in the first half. We can say it both in both. It came down to a 28 to 30 point game. The Eagles are going for 2. Now, I know we got 227 people in here. Shout out to you guys. Smash that like button wherever you're watching it. We appreciate you. The Eagles might not appreciate you and get a win for you, but we do. And I say that angry because this loss broke me. As Gate City said to us, a lot of good came out of this. But it still broke me because you were there. And when I say there, did Doug Peterson watch the same game we watched? Every single play Carson Wentz made at the end of the game was on his back foot. He threw every single pass off his back foot. And the quarterback coach down here will tell you, you're not supposed to do that. But there's no such thing as stepping up when there's a 300-pound guy 6 inches away from you. You can't step up. So at the end of the day, he saw that every second in the pocket counted. When we threw that touchdown to Kroom, what did they do? They rolled him out, gave Carson Wentz an extra 2 seconds, and they found a guy named Kroom in the end zone. When we got the touchdown, I simply said real quick, I'm going to be done. I said, look, we got to roll Carson Wentz out. It's either Carson Wentz going to throw for a touchdown or run it. You got to let the game be on him. The RPO took 1 second. You're like, 1 second's not that much. When the offensive line is down 7, that 1 second is all we had. As Gate City said, Jalen Hurts for a 2-point conversion. The guy that you guys say is so athletic. He couldn't survive with the RPO. Jalen Hurts, hike, RPO, sacked. So you get a guy who's less athletic, and you run the same play? Disgusting.
Yeah, it was foolish. I got to say, on a lighter note, before we get into the serious stuff here, Nate. So Nate was like, JJ had a touchdown, boys. I just want to read you a text message. I sent to Reese and I sent to Mike during the game because we got our little group chat. So we'll be talking during the game in our group chat. I said, laugh out loud. J Jaw out here thinking, see, I told you all, I was the man.
And listen, and Gate, I do my play-by-play, right? But I sometimes stop when y'all text me. I stop and I say, I got to answer these guys. These are my guys, and I answer back. But yeah, that's crazy. Did you see how much he was celebrating? Did you see?
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I ain't gonna lie to you. We can clown him and all that, but if it give him some type of confidence, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
We need all hands on deck from here on out because I might be in a smiling mood. I might have a smirk on my face, but the bottom of the line is we are 1-4-1.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That is a problem. Can we turn this around? Yes. I mean, we got an easy part, if you want to say easy part of the schedule coming up. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I feel as though if the offense plays like how they played today and the defense plays like, well, some of the offense, I still need Doug to give up play calling. I'm sorry, man. It's time, yo. But if the defense can play like how they played against the Giants, come on, man. We coming out with a dub, and then we're going to be back. It depends on what happens with Dallas and they play Arizona on Monday, right? Yeah. Dallas and Arizona. I mean, listen. I don't give a damn if we go 6 wins and win the NFC least. As long as I get my quarterback some more playoff time, other than a minute and 13 seconds. You know what I mean? I need my quarterback to get as much playoff time as he can, especially with these young guys, man. Because no matter how much they mess up right now, these dudes are the future. Fulgham is the future. It's nothing to debate about. It's nothing to talk about. I don't care if Alshon come back. I don't care if DJ come back. Now, what I can say about DJ is this. If that was DJ instead of Hightower, we were probably looking at a whole nother game.
That's Tubbs. Yeah, that's Tubbs. That's a Tubbs.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. We talking about a whole different game. But the defense also is not gonna sleep on DJ like they slept on Hightower right there. He was wide open. You know what I mean? But real fast, man. I don't care. I care about how many wins we get. I just don't care how we win the NFC East. We just need to win the NFC East, man. That's what it's boiling down to right now. We are not good. Dallas is not good. The rest of the division is not good. But you have to be better than the other teams that are not good. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure that you win this division, man. And I still think that we got a shot to do this, man. Go ahead, y'all.
Wait, I want to ask Gate City. I want you to take this after I do this. Shout out to Genetic Freak for the $2 super chat. Back-to-back weeks of mediocre play from Slay. Facts. I don't know
if I go that far, man.
Yeah,
no. Last expect somebody to win every single snap, man. Like that's just not the way defensive backs played. Like I get what you're saying that you expect more from them, but I wouldn't call it mediocre play. I mean, he's clearly our best defender out there. Like it's not even close.
Right.
Listen, but you know what it is. You know what it is, though.
Gate and Fresh, answer this question: what Solo Bolo said. To your recollection, am I just seeing things, or did this man not get many snaps in the first quarter and early second, or am I just dreaming?
I don't know. Honestly, I'd have to see the film.
I think he got the snaps, but I think they put their best corner on him, and he was really. You couldn't I ain't gonna say Carson Wentz didn't look at him, but he was really kind of locked down.
Yeah, but
and they kind of. And once Zach Ertz went out, they kind of I don't know what they did, why it happened, but they kind of slacked off on Fulgham and kind of forgot about him. Like I figured that when Zach Ertz go out, you will put more pressure on Fulgham. But man, I see my quarterback make some throws, man. It's and then when they make them, people texting me, "Oh man, that should have been picked," and all that kind of crap. I see quarterbacks all over the league, even Patrick Mahomes. Make them kind of throws and people just up in the uproar about it. You know what I mean? And this is what I was talking about last night when I went live with shout out to Philly Talk podcast. When I went live with him last night, what I was saying is you need wide receivers that's going to attack the football when it's in the air, not just sit there on the ground and wait for it to come to them. No, go get it. And I seen Fulgham do that. That's why I'm saying this dude is the future. That's why I got a smirk on my face. That's why I'm mad about the loss. Don't get me wrong. But I'm happy about this future. I ain't gonna lie to you. This offense, when they get this line right, you gotta get this line right. Because Carson Wentz cannot continuously run for he literally looked like Deshaun Watson out there.
Yes.
Like seriously. Like in Gate City, I know you know because I know that you break down a lot of tape on Deshaun Watson. And you seen how his offensive line plays, and you seen him running for his life. And that's one of the reasons why when we break our quarterbacks, you put Deshaun Watson where you put him at. But what I'm gonna say is right now is he's looking like that right now. This dude literally don't got time to look at not 2, 3 reads, but either one. He don't got time to look at his hot
playing for his life.
He don't got time to even fake a handoff, and that's exactly why you don't run RPO. Listen, the more athletic quarterback in Jalen Hurts ran an RPO for a two-point conversion, and guess how many seconds he had? 0. Guess what happened to him? Sack. So you think on a game-winning drive, you take the less athletic quarterback and do the same thing? And he ran his RPO with Miles Sanders. Carson running his RPO with Boston Scott. Stop it. Listen, to come back and to lose like that, it shows the fight. It shows the toughness. It shows that we just fought with a Super Bowl contender. Forget what you say. 5-1, top 5 team in the NFL. We balled out with them. Without the guys we're going to get back. Now listen, Carson Wentz was pedestrian in the first half. But do you know why? Because he was under continuously pressure. And listen, people in my play-by-play kept saying, where's TF13? Where's TF13? So I kept watching. And there were plays where I was like, he's not out there. He's not. Listen, they did a lot of 2 tight end sets again. They probably jumped back into a lot of 12-man personnel. But here's the thing. On 12-man personnel, who do you want out there as the one receiver? TF13 or John Hightower? They were using John Hightower over TF13. In that position, they were using him, which I understand you might want some more speed out there with the 2 tight ends. But my gosh, I'm telling you, first quarter, this dude maybe got like a snap or 2. I'm trying to say, like, maybe I'm just crazy, but he did not play early in this game. He didn't.
I mean, go ahead, Gates.
Look, I'll just say this about Travis Fulgham. I think the kid is. I think he's starting to really come on. Like, I think this kid is. He's legit. He's legit to me. You can question the fact that it took him so late to really get going, but you know what? When we were driving and we were coming back, where was the ball going?
What?
When they needed miracles in the end zone, who were they targeting? They were targeting Fulgham. That says something, man. Like, for some of y'all, Jason Kroom. I've seen a couple funny comments. Jason Kroom was on Buffalo last year, guys. He's a very much like a Joshua Perkins type. He's a hybrid wide receiver tight end type. I believe he was originally signed by Tennessee, I want to say, or drafted by Tennessee, one or the other. And he was a wide receiver that got converted to tight end. Look, man, maybe they need to reassess this roster a little bit and find out the guys that really want to play. All these reports about Howie, maybe Howie needs to look at the mirror and figure out, like, hey, man, like, I want my draft picks to play, but at the same time, I'm not going to have a job if we can't get the right guys on the field to win games.
Facts.
I mean, I get, like I said, man, I'm not as down as some of the reports as some people are when, like, oh, man, like, look at this. Like, yeah, man, it's just the way football politics are. If you think Howie's the only GM in the league that does that, you're mistaken. But at the same time, like, Fulgham should have been on this roster since week 1. I think that's obvious now.
And he should have been on the field in the first quarter, which Gabe, I know I can find on Sharp Football about snaps, but can you find out snaps in the first quarter? Can you break it down to each quarter?
Yeah, they got a snap count. Yeah, they got a snap count.
I can only ever find a snap count for the whole game.
For the whole game.
Can you find
I don't know about that. But
as soon as they release the we can comb through it.
Oh yeah,
hey Mike, get into the super chat real fast because I want to rebuttal this real fast.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go. My guy, Down South Eagle, he's been with me since I was at like 75 subscribers. Shout out to you, my guy.
Shout out to him, man. Day
if
one.
If Miles is out, Who are we giving the rock to? Holyfield? Because Scott and Clement is some trash doo-doo. That's a problem. If his knee is long-term or just a couple games, that's a problem. What are we doing? Go ahead, guys. What
And
are we doing?
you know, my rebuttal to that is I put out a video about Le'Veon Bell. People grinding me up like I'm tripping. What are we talking about now?
And what did they sign him for? What did they sign Le'Veon for?
I think the veteran minimum. If they didn't talk about the contract, so usually when they don't talk about the contract, it's a veteran minimum. You know what I mean? So, it's been time for me, and it's definitely past overdue. I've been saying I don't want to see Corey Clement. Now, Boston Scott, to me, I don't think that they're using him right. I seen them try to use him on a screenplay that got blown up. You know what I mean? But it's time to bring up Holyfield or Warren. It's been that time. Like, time after time after time. We've seen guys come off the practice squad and look hungry. Even Josh Adams 2 years ago, he came off the practice squad and left and led the running backs and rushes. You know what I mean? So you gotta give these young dudes a chance, man. You gotta give these young dudes a chance. It's a shame that what happened to Taylor, man. I wanted to see him have a chance this game. You know what I mean? They put Bradley out there more. Did y'all see that?
Oh, yeah.
We've been calling for that. And look what happened. You seen the speed. You know what I mean? Nathan Gary, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. He just wasn't good. Nathan Gary is a guy that is just going to be, he's like, But at the same time, it's like, we need somebody, especially at that linebacker position, to make plays. And I feel as though that Sean Bradley and Taylor, before he got hurt, can be that person, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, I think that there was plays to be made. I seen a couple pop-up footballs that should have been come down with interceptions. I seen a fumble that should have been, I think Rodney McLeod, you had a veteran mindset to try to hit that. I know it's a tall task that I'm asking, but this is what we ask from our dudes that's getting paid. To hit that football to make sure it don't go out of bounds and let your other defenders get on top of it. This is what other teams do. We had so many chances to get turnovers. We had so many chances to really win this football when you look at it. I seen drop passes. I seen dudes not making plays when I think the plays should have been made, man. And
look, we got a guy in here. We got a guy in here saying Eagles don't deserve wins. So you got somebody who's outside the organization talking about he hates the Eagles, obviously, but at least he can look at it and say that Carson Wentz is balling with what he got. But go ahead, before you finish, Fresh, this is for you, so you can read Jalen Williams' thing. That's yours, anyways.
My guy, man, appreciate you having you on about 3 weeks ago, man. We might need you again, man, talking about this offensive line. We might have to talk again, man. Hey, Gate City, you might got to set that up for next week. Seriously, that's my guy right there. Shout out Jalen Williams. He said, honestly, proud as hell of this team for the fight that I saw today. Count the money that's on the sideline at RR. That's my quarterback. I mean, facts.
Yeah,
facts, man. Like
Carson Fault. Some of these guys, I don't know what you're seeing. I see some of y'all like dapper gents. Dude, I'm gonna check you right now. You better check yourself, or I'll bring your ass on live, and you don't want the heat from me because I'll embarrass you.
You know, when I say I know
football, yeah. When I say I know football, I've forgotten more football in a day than you've ever known in your life, jackass.
Well, the cat is out the bag. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, let me just say this, guys. Look, it comes down to this. This team was down legitly 7 offensive linemen. You physically only normally carry like 10 or 11. So if you carry 10 or 11 and 7 go down, it's wild. We brought in a guy named Jamon Brown who takes a picture with Lamar Jackson after the game after getting totally burnt. You think JP
How
was
did you even see that? How did you see that?
Because I'm about to turn the TV off, which I got a TV on anyways, and I'm like, This guy legitly took a. I swear to God, man. I said it to all my people in the play-by-play. That's why Solo Bolo came in here and let us know, or someone else did it. But yo, I swear to God, he took a picture with Lamar Jackson.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying how you see it. And
because
a B more just sent a super Yoda super chat to. Excuse me, I don't know who channel it is. You know, it's on my channel, Super Yoda. But shout out to B more. That is the veteran minimum though, right? Or is it 700,000?
it's close enough to 1 million. It's just something like that we could use. Because listen, if Miles Sanders is out for any type of long-term status, Boston Scott is not. Well, the only positive I can say, and this is kind of a joke, he was a giant killer, and that's who we play next. However, no, come on, man, that's crazy, and that's why a guy like who the guy we just brought in who signed with the Giants, Devontae Freeman. He's a guy who's not great, but he's similar to Miles Sanders. So you bring this guy in case of emergency. Now, I do believe we offered him a contract.
You should have never got rid of Jordan Howard. You should have never let him walk.
It comes down to we wish we had Jordan Howard, who's not even being used in Miami. He's not even being used. They signed him, and they're not even using him. They're using
because they got better backs, but we don't. That's the problem. like especially if Miles Sanders go there, we don't have better backs when you look at it. You know what I mean? And Miami kind of been balling. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but
I had to pick up the quarterback, and he been lighting it up for me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I got Fitzpatrick starting in this game for me too. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, well, look, let me just say this once and for all. Seriously, though, guys, we got 301 people watching on 3 different channels. We are live on the Philly Talk Podcast, Philly Fresh channel, and Gate City Sports channel. Make sure wherever you're watching it, you smash that like button. It's simple. It's free. It's easier than Doug Peterson calling the right call on a 2-point conversion. Because listen, we can talk about Miles Sanders dropped. That broke my heart. John Hightower's dropped. That broke my heart. The offensive line not being able to block, that broke my heart. But it comes down to this. The Ravens had the mishaps in the second half, the same way we had the mishaps in the first half. But it came down to a 1-score game. We scored a touchdown. Doug just watched a couple touchdowns ago, a 2-point conversion by a more athletic quarterback fail with the RPO. And it's not because Jalen Hurts is bad. It's not because our running back was bad. It's because the offensive line is straight doo-doo. And that's why I was telling you guys, if Jalen Hurts comes in, it's still not going to stop the offensive line from not blocking. So look, RPO, 2-point conversion, sack, athletic quarterback. Game on the line, RPO, sack, less athletic quarterback. Why not motion him out and say, Carson, run the touchdown, like you just ran for 40 yards on the rumbling, bumbling, stumbling play. He was rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
I don't give a damn how he got it done. He got it done.
Listen, you roll Carson out. You say you throw the tight window pass to TF13, or you North Dakota assassin that and just run in yourself. Instead, we only have 1.5 seconds to throw the ball, and you used one of the seconds to RPO it. We don't have time. Bad. Listen, and I like Doug overall, but my God, he's breaking my heart. He really is.
I've been saying this since week 1. It's time for him to give up play calling. I mean, Gate City, do you agree with me? It's time, man.
Are like when you look at the play calling, there's scripted play calls, which I think when they go to the scripted stuff, I think it's in there, here and there, when you're looking at that stuff. But then I also think there's times to where when it's situational play calling, he's been bad. He's just been really bad situationally.
That's what I was about to say.
And what was that? That was a situational call. Go ahead, Gabe.
And that's what I've been saying. He's been the worst situational football head coach and offensive coordinator in the league for real. It's like I don't know what's getting in his mind, what's getting in the way of him. Even last week, when you run the ball with Miles Sanders, just to burn a timeout for one, I don't even think Miles Sanders got 1 yard.
He got what I mean? It was 3rd and 1. That's all he got was the first down.
That's what I'm saying. And his situational football, man, like going for two, Earlier this week, I didn't agree with. Like, I mean,
I got
earlier in the game, I'm like, why? Like why? Like, now you're chasing and you're chasing points. Like, I didn't understand that, man. I don't understand the situational football. I don't understand his analytics team. Whoever is in his ear telling him do this and do that, that needs to change. The play calling needs to change. How do you not?
I just want to say this for everybody about the Frank Wright thing. Listen, Doug Peterson was play calling with Frank Wright, but what I do believe Frank Wright is what just Philly Fresh said. He was that voice in the ear on situational calls. I believe Doug Peterson had the ultimate respect for a guy like Frank Wright and listened to him in situational. So listen, you see Doug Peterson roll off some good plays because there were some great play calls, but then he finishes it with a couple good ones and a
situational. And that's what got me frustrated the most. It's like, first of all, a lot of people want to say Doug called a good game. I just think Carson Wentz just rose above that. A lot of the things that Carson Wentz did was unscripted.
Yeah.
When he started rolling out himself, getting out the pocket, the plays already, once Carson Wentz is running for his life, the play's dead. That's not the play. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand that it's not the play. Now it's your wide receivers and your tight ends and your running backs or whoever the case may be.
Yeah,
it's trying to get open and they're ad-libbing. You know what I mean? That's not the play. I need people to understand that. Shout out to Darius Dalton in here, man. I ain't ready for no fire sale. I probably get what you're saying with Alshon, Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, and probably even Fletcher Cox. You know what I mean? But I ain't ready for no fire sale. I think we still need to see if Carson Wentz can get to the playoffs and do something, man. And then at the end of the season, whenever the season ends, then I'm ready for a fire sale. But I ain't ready for no fire sale. Shout out to Darius Dalton, man.
And then I'm gonna let you guys rock.
Row Bill 1. We appreciate you, man. You want to read it, Mike? You want me to do it?
Either or.
All right. Nate Gary's a backup. Nate Gary's a backup who can come in for a few games, who they made a starter, probably from the Jets game from last year, because they didn't want to play the basic linebackers who were okay, like Nigel and Camus Grugier-Hill. What's first off, Robill 1. Let me see, I get your name right, man. We appreciate the super chat, man.
Shout out to you, my guy.
I think there's an element of truth to what you're saying. I don't think that. Look, my theory is that Nate Gary, he's not as bad as he's being made to look. It's because he's starting. It's because he's starting, and he's just not starting level. He's not that caliber of player. He's like, to me, he's like one of those guys you use first up off the bench. But right now, not only is he a starter for us, he's basically that positional group's leader. And I think that's an issue. Now, I don't know that I buy into the Nigel Bradham and Camus Grugier-Hill argument from last year. I don't think that either one of those players were particularly good.
Is he playing good on the? Has anybody watched him play for Miami? Or is he playing good, or is he not playing good over there? I don't know.
He's athletic. I mean, he's athletic. He's a traditional will. But, I mean, to me personally, you know, I think the mistake we made was not addressing it with veterans during free agency and then completely taking some big risk in the draft when we probably could have gotten more proven commodities to come in here as young guys to play that had a little more experience in college. I mean, we see it today. I mean, I thought, look, I'm not going to say the game was perfect for Sean Bradley, but Sean Bradley looked decent for a guy playing major snaps in his first game, right? He's had a couple of snaps here and there down around the goal line, but this was the first game where he saw heavy usage. I thought he played well. I thought his instinct showed pretty well. He had a couple of issues here and there where I saw where he was a little late getting over, hitting the hole correctly, stuff like that. But, I mean, I believe the kid can play. The problem is, I think some of you guys have said this, and you've said it numerous times. When you look at some of these linebackers that we were giving snaps over these young kids, what about them made you feel like that the distance between their level of play and these rookies was going to be that great? I think it's a fair question.
That's true. And Jim Schwartz said, "Don't come for me, Gay City." Hey, listen, look. There was a point in this game where people were really coming at players on his team that I can't believe. So I was having a laugh fest in my stream, my play-by-play, but it changed Once the Eagles, listen, one of my favorite words in my play-by-play is we live in the moment. If there's a chance for us to take over the game, I don't care what John Hightower, Miles Sanders, Carson Wentz, or anybody does. If we live in the moment and we get the W, because listen, in a win, the bad things get forgotten. In a loss, it gets remembered twofold. So, look, by no means was it a perfect game by anybody on the Eagles. However, the person who had the hardest job on the Eagles was one Carson Wentz because he had the worst offensive line I've seen in a minute. I'm going to look at the pressures. In the fourth quarter, the last 7 throws were all off the back foot. You don't want it, but you understand it because there's a guy 5 inches away from you. Like, it's crazy. Look, we can listen. I hate talking about a moral victory, but we dropped 28 on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We dropped 28 on the Baltimore Ravens. Unfortunately, they came in as the second part of the game, but we could build off this. Now, listen, if we're in the NFC West, I ain't talking about build. I'm talking about next year. We're in the NFC least. Look, people say they don't want to win this division. Well, I have one goal. First of all, I want to get to the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. But my one goal is to be better than the Giants, the Washington Footballers, and the Cowboys. It's not my fault they're as bad as we are. So if we accomplish that goal, I don't care what anybody says. It's good. We also got a guy who's been playing hard the last 3 games. I will be the first to say that Carson Wentz physically lost us the Washington football game and the Bengal game. But he physically kept us in the game for the Steelers, the Ravens, and won the San Francisco game. He lost
the Bengals game?
Bro, he was bad.
In the Bengals game?
He was good at down the stretch, and that's what started Carson Wentz coming back. But listen, the interception and fumbles he did earlier were really disgusting.
He's talking about the first 3 quarters of that game where he was
missing.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, we didn't lose that game. That's why I said that. You said that he cost us losing the game.
Okay, he cost us a tie. But listen, we should have beat the Washington Footballers. But listen, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is you could be critical of him, but stop holding week 1 and 2 for week 6 because he didn't play bad in this. Yes, he fumbled. But guess what? When he was an MVP 2017, Carson Wentz, he fumbled too. You know why you guys forgot the fumble? Because he was throwing 33 touchdowns. That's why you forgot the fumbles. He had that problem his whole career. Here's the thing. This team is not as talented overall as it was in 17 or 18. The team is hurt. The team is deficient. Yep. This team is inconsistent on all 3 levels. People act like we're a quarterback away from a Super Bowl contender. It's not true.
There's 2 guys, though, I want to shout out that I thought had tremendous games defensively. Number 1, Jalen Williams. I'm going to steal your shout out here. All right. Alex Singleton is a much better football player than I thought. That kid has more pop to his hits than I thought he had. And I got to watch the film, but from the eyes that I saw from the camera angles we're given in games, it felt like he was doing a really good job of dropping back into zones and taking away certain underneath throws. I thought he had a much better feel than some of the other linebackers did.
Can I make a confession?
Go ahead.
When Lamar Jackson started rolling out and all his wide receivers was rolling out to the left, I said, oh my goodness, we are in trouble. Shout out to the defense. They literally held it down. Like, I don't know exactly what kind of deep. Now, Lamar Jackson made some bad throws. Like, sometimes the ball was coming out of his hands. I don't know if he had jelly on his fingers or what, but they were slippery, rippery. Like, but man, like the rollouts, man, I think that like the rollouts to me is what killed us with the Rams game. You know what I mean? So badly. You know what I mean? So for them to do what they did on these rollouts, that really gave me some type of fortitude. That really gave me something to look at. You know what I mean? And not having a couple of defensive guys. Jalen Mills goes out. I forgot who even came in for him. I don't even know because Kayvon Wallace was hurt. I don't even know who came in for him.
Yeah, it's no telling.
Was it Epps?
Epps, probably.
It had to be Epps, right?
No, wasn't Epps out?
I'm not sure.
I don't
I
even
mean,
know
we
who
got
wants to be.
it's hard to keep up. It's literally hard to keep up. Like,
I mean, they probably put
like
Will
we come up.
Parks in. I'm assuming they probably put Will Parks in, given the circumstances of the,
Oh
because
yeah,
he had
okay.
Nickel Roby Coleman playing outside. But
Wait, let me get to the super chat real quick. So Solo Bolo, who's a known person who comes at me in lives and stuff for Carson Wentz, but they were giving Carson Wentz the props at the end of the game. Anyway, Solo Bolo with the 499 super chat. If we fail to make it to the playoffs in this trash division, is that a negative mark on our franchise quarterback? Shout out to the Battle Birds podcast. Again, asking a question. Listen, not the worst person who said he just stinks, but they're always asking questions. They got question marks when it comes to Carson Wentz. Listen, anybody who has question marks is cool. It's just the people who straight out say,
I'll say this: Solo Bolo in
Well,
this
he said that last night.
particular division. Yeah, in this particular division right now, if we fail to win this division this year, I think you have to reassess the coaching staff. You have to reassess your roster. You got to do everything because this division can't get much worse than what it is. You probably got a point there, Fresh. But I mean,
I ain't know if y'all heard me. I was kind of saying that, and I was gonna say it again, but I ain't know if you're. Yeah, I think you need to do that no matter what. Go ahead, though, bro.
Yeah.
My bad.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, but look, they say Fresh got the Croom t-shirt on. No, it's a 91. It looks like an 81 though, so it could look like Croom.
No, it is 81.
Oh, it is?
This T.O., baby. This T.O., man.
He knew this was gonna be Chrome.
I can't turn around for y'all with it. This a Mitchell and that's throwback, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see the tag, man? Come on, man. Hey, Marshall's got these on for $10.
He's holding on. He's holding on for the last Pro Bowl wide receiver we had until TF13 was born, who didn't play in the first quarter. Man, I also.
I will also say this, though, guys. I forgot one player. I forgot to say one player in that shout out. Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's turnaround and his development, man, he's the real deal.
I mean, did I tell y'all? Did I tell you?
Yeah, shout out to Philly Fresh. He had at least two.
Man.
He had at least 2 videos in the preseason. I keep saying it. There was no such thing in the off season about Josh Sweat talking about, listen, guys, this guy's going to not just play pivotal snaps. He's going to ball out when he gets a chance. And he's done that. He came up big in the Vinny Curry absence, and he's been coming up. Listen, Vinny Curry was active and he played.
I didn't even see Vinny Curry.
He played a little bit, but because Josh Sweat was so vile to the pass rush, they kept him in over him, which is finally a defensive coaching staff saying we're going to keep the better player in. Simple and plain. But listen to this. Jake Elliott kills us every time, and he never gets grinded up, gets off skate free. How? Let me say this. I will say this. Now, we know Justin Tucker is a beast kicker. But listen, Jake Elliott lives in Philly. This man practices every single day in Philly. How is Justin Tucker, a guy who only plays Philly in the link every 8 years, come in and make a 55-yarder while we just miss another 52-yarder at home? This ain't Heinz Field.
Yeah, but Justin, when it comes to kickers, Justin Tucker's an alien.
Yeah, he wanted to go. He's one of the goats.
Yeah, you can't. Come on, man. Like we like Justin Tucker's up there with Vinatieri and dudes like that. Like you can't compare these dudes. But what I can say is,
our home 8. He hasn't played in the league for at least 8 years because we only play every 4 years. Right. And one's at Baltimore, one's in Philly. Jake Elliott lives here. Like, make the field goal, my guy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You know, it's starting to look like Jake Elliott is not the guy that we thought he was. And you know, shout out to the team though. They did bring somebody up. I can't remember exactly his name and where he's from, but I do know that they just brought a kicker in, and maybe that's messing with his mind. I don't know, but Jake Elliott got to get it together, man. Because he didn't really cost us this game. But it's going to come a point in a time this season that we're going to need him. And you got to step up, man. You got no field goals over 40 yards this season. So, I mean, it's not being overlooked, but I just think that we have so many other holes and so many other things to talk about that, yeah, he does skate, kind of skate free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Skid. Hey man, I've been telling everybody about this dude, man. When I'm right, man. I'm barely wrong, man. But Josh Sweat, 6'5", 215, just a monster, man. Like, I'm trying to tell you, we're going to have to pay him soon. Like this dude, I'm trying to tell you, I think he's better than Derek Barnett. That's just my personal opinion. And it's crazy because I don't know if y'all heard the announcers talking, and the announcers pissed me off today. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
But real fast, when you hear the announcers talk about him, and they were saying like, was in high school, he was like the number one guy in high school, blew out his knee, and ever since then, he never really got it back. And we're starting to see him get it back right now at a good time that we need him. But the announcers suck today. First of all, they tried to give Jalen Hurts props for Miles Sanders' touchdown. That was come on. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well give it to Carson.
What did they actually say for that though? Because somebody in my chat was saying the same thing, but they didn't tell me what he said. How did they say it?
They said, can we give Jalen Hurts credit for this touchdown right here because he was in a play and he drawed the defense in and all that. All right, so give my man Carson Wentz some credit for handing the ball off. How about that? Like, come on, you can't do that. Like, It seems like these announcers, when it's a new toy, a lot of people, they just want this guy to shine. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie though, the offense was sputtering until he came into the game. I'm gonna be totally honest.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? The defense, they was just barking on Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz couldn't do anything until they brought Jalen Hurts in, and it kind of threw them off. And they didn't know whether to blitz. They didn't know whether to do this and do that. And that's why I said in the beginning of this, if this is your best thing that you got going on, if the game is on the line, put him in the game. I ain't got no problem with him. I don't even care if he take the snap. Put him in the game. Because the defense, they just look, every defense it seems like we play look flustered when he comes into the game. They don't know what the heck is going to happen. And if that is your best thing that you got going on right now, I mean, you spend a second-round pick on him. Use him. Win a game with him. I don't care. It's not going to make me not like Carson Wentz more. I mean, less. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand it. Go ahead, yo.
Jason Wall be making me laugh, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, look, he ain't cost us the game, but we lost by 2 and he missed 3.
Yeah. Shout out to Jason Wall.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that.
Right. I'm not gonna say Jake cost us the game, but I will say, let me ask you guys a question.
It's circumstances.
Look, Doug has been getting 2-point conversion happy.
Too happy.
Look, he's been getting 4th down aggressive in the enemy territory happy. Is that about Jake?
Yeah, because he can't kick. He can't make it.
Like maybe there's something going on behind the scenes with that to where he might be getting replaced soon. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, which is always
not really.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, it's not really my area. Like, I've never really been a kicker before. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but I mean, look, man, he can't hit anything over 40 yards, man.
It's bad. Let me say this real quick. Look,
can I give a shout out, but like a kind of a negative shout out?
Why not?
A Philly Talk podcast, man.
Philly the podcast. Don't put into my name.
All right, my bad, man. But Dad, we just went on live. We talked about Carson. We talked about. Did you not see the game, bro?
What Philly the podcast really said this now? Oh,
what? Like, please tell me somebody hacked your page. Did you really not see the game? He couldn't do anything. Every time he looked up and looked at a hot route, he had a defender in his face, bro. And it wasn't just 8 minutes. It was a half that he took over, bro. When you really want to talk about it. You know what I mean?
And let's talk about the first half. Let's talk about the first half. Carson Wentz numbers. Well, listen, Carson Wentz's numbers in the first half was pedestrian, but let's go get some context. Let me get some context.
They was worse than pedestrian, man.
Yeah, that's an understatement. They was JD-ish.
Okay, but I'm going to bring context in it to why they were pedestrian. 50
Okay, go ahead.
yards were lost on a drop pass in the breadbasket. A touchdown was lost on a 15-yard pass to Miles Sanders. So that's 75 yards and a touchdown. How does somebody's first down stats look differently if you add 75 yards and a touchdown on that? That's one. Here's two. 7 guys who are not on your team no more who you really wish you had to block for you, because let's be honest, the time to throw was at 1.5 seconds. After 1.5 seconds, Carson had to be on the move. Mind you, I honestly think that Travis Fulgham was not used in the first quarter. I honestly believe they started playing this guy decent snaps middle of the second. I could be wrong. And that's why I need somebody or myself. I'm going to do the research to figure that out, because I do not believe he played many snaps in the first quarter, which is straight disgusting. Disgusting. Let
me ask you a question, Mike, because you'll enjoy this one. In the pregame, I said maybe the Eagles should chill out a little bit on the high point in the ball stuff. It's just not his strength. I said, look, when you watch the film on this kid, his strength is you get him in stride. You hit him in stride, he's a different player. Bro, third play of the game. Like, he didn't even give me the first quarter. Third play of the game.
Way to prove me wrong,
bro. Hit him in stride, in the hands. I was like, yo, Mike is going to cut me up so bad on this, bro.
I didn't cut him out because look, hold up. I'm going to go to my group chat with Philly Fresh and Gate. The first thing I said was this. Wow. You talked about hitting him in stride. He still dropped it.
Yeah, I was like, dude, come on. Like, there's no easier catch in the NFL than that one was going to be. Like, I just think he got happy. Like, I'm going to get a touchdown. I'm about to get a touchdown. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, a concentration drop. But look, I'm gonna talk about it like this. Look, we played a top 7 defense. Carson Wentz had no offensive line and had pedestrian numbers, but the drops have to be talked about in context. You're talking about 75 yards and a touchdown. But in the second half, Carson Wentz was everything we can ask for when it comes to 7 offensive linemen down. You finally play TF13, come back, and we were not an onside kick away from winning. We were a 2-point conversion away from tying the game. You got to say that's guts. You got to say that's courage. Now, you can say, well, it's too late. Not really. We shouldn't have been in this game. When you look at, listen, let's be real. Look at their starting 11 and look at ours. Every single offensive lineman is better than ours. Their tight end at the end of the game was better than ours because we had Kroom and Rodgers. Their receivers, other than TF13, are better than ours. Their running back is better than ours because Miles Sanders went down in the fourth quarter.
I like Greg Ward. I like Greg Ward, bro. I like Greg Ward.
I like him too, but let's not be honest. Let's be a little bit honest.
I like Greg Ward over Snead. Like, me personally.
Yeah, but yeah, Snead is their third, and I guess he's supposedly our third too. So I'll give you that. But look, we went against a Super Bowl contender and lost by 2 while playing a horrible game. What I'm trying to say is this team is the definition of inconsistent. If it can just turn a page or 2, or maybe a chapter, we can be
man.
A chapter.
Dude, like, it's you know, and it's frustrating because, like, you can see pieces of the team starting to emerge.
Correct.
But if we can't fix this O-line,
it's all
hey, man, we should win the next 3 games, but the key word being there is should. Should win the next 3 games. But this O-line is scary, man. And like Doug, I mean, come on, bro. Jamon Brown, you might as well just told him just to lay down on the ground at the hike and just let him come on through. Because let's just be real. Calais Campbell
here's what I can say. He kind of settled in at the half. He did.
Towards the second half of the game, he played better.
First quarter, Campbell was having the game of his life. Like, he was sitting there, he literally was going to the line saying, "Dad, Who am I going to go after this thing? Who am I going to go after this play? Like, you know what? I'm going to pick Herbert. You know what? I'm going to pick Brown. Like, and he was just having his way, man. And that's a problem. That's really a problem. Now, we shouted out the offensive line last week. You know what I mean? They did a good job. But man, not this week, man. And we wanted Pryor going to take a back seat or whatever the case may be. But it's time to bring Pryor back. And that's not really saying too much, but it's saying a lot at the same time.
When does Isaac Seumalo come back? I know he was a big one. It was like a 4 or 5 or 6 week injury, but when are we expecting him back? Do we know?
I don't even know if he off.
Well, IR is 3 weeks. I know it's 3 weeks for IR. You can take him off. I know it was longer than the 3 week injury. So I'm just asking, does anybody have a estimate date when we expect him back? Because if we get,
I don't. I have no idea. I ain't gonna lie to you. They haven't talked about him. They really haven't been saying anything about him, man.
Yeah, and shout out to Jalen Williams. Listen, they showed a stat that Calais Campbell, since I forgot exactly when, because I was trying to pay attention to the stats, but I was kind of busy. Yeah. 3-sack game, but he's among the top guys in the game. I think it was Aaron Donald, number 1. What's the Lions defensive end? Azigi Ansawa or something like that. And then it was Calais Campbell for the most 3-sacks games. He had 4 games in the last couple years with 3 sacks. So shout out to Calais Campbell just eating. But again, you're going against Jamon Brown, who kind of settled in the second half, but say, you know what? Where my guy Lamar Jackson at? I need that picture, my guy. Where you at?
It felt like to me is like, number one, we knew that the Ravens defensive backs were going to be pretty good. Like Jimmy Smith, you know what I'm saying? Like Humphrey, like these guys can play, man. These guys are really good corners. Like we knew there was going to be some issues with that.
Can I ask a question real fast?
You know you got good corners. You know you got good corners. So even trying to speed the offense up and do timing and rhythm and get the ball out fast, they're probably going to come up and play man press on you. So that's hard to do. So if you know it's going to take longer to develop plays, right, to run things, to do some switch offs, stuff like that to get guys open, why do you keep Carson in the pocket? Why are you not moving the pocket more? Like, I there were parts of this game where I legitimately wanted to turn the TV off because I was getting so mad. Like, I was just like, what is going on? Like, how is this not clear? How is this not evident to Doug yet? You can't do that.
And you know, I want to ask y'all this question. I want to ask everybody in the chat. We just sat there for 3 hours and we watched the game. We watched Lamar Jackson with a stellar defense, right? We watched Carson Wentz with an okay defense. They held it down. We watched a makeshift offensive line with Carson Wentz, him running for his life. We seen Lamar Jackson with an okay offensive line, but the defensive line was just ballers at some points. A lot of people going into the season were saying that Lamar Jackson is better than Carson Wentz. I don't see. Now, does he does things better than Carson Wentz, like running the football? Yes. Do he has a better system because of they use him the right way? Yes. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. From what I see at the quarterback position, Lamar Jackson ain't touching my man. Pause. But he ain't touching Carson Wentz. That's just facts, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
What do y'all think about the possibility of Rager and Goddard being back?
I want y'all to comment back on that, but go ahead.
What do y'all think? Do you think it's going to happen?
I mean, well, listen, though. At the end of the day, you get Goddard back. That's more 12-man personnel. You get Rager back. Will we see TF13? Because, again, I'm still holding to my guns. I don't think I've seen him in the first quarter. And, yes, they play different positions, but who knows with this coaching staff. I can't – listen, this is what I said on Twitter, and this is what I said in the play-by-play. I shouted all you guys out in the play-by-play. I talked about LB, Philly Fresh, Gate City, DJ Eastwood, Philly Take with RB, Joey Shakes. I said every single Eagle content creator I can think of, and I said we all had one common video. No matter who comes back, whether it's Alshon or Deshaun, we can't take snaps away from TF13. Well, neither of them came back, and I can almost swear he was not in the first quarter. I got to check that out, man. I'm going to hold to it until I see I'm wrong, and then I'm just blind. But I don't think he was in the first quarter, barely, and we didn't even get Alshon and Deshaun back. So what happens when they come back? Are we really going to just forget about him? I will be sick. I will be sick.
Yeah, it's
That's all I'm gonna say.
look. We need to me. I think we can almost survive with the receivers and stuff we have. Like, I got faith we can scheme stuff. We can get guys open. Guys step up to the plate when we need them to.
You
I'm
can't
way
get
more
open if you're
concerned
not
about.
being protected, though, bro.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
That's what I
That's
was
what I
getting
was
to.
gonna say.
I'm
Oh,
way
okay,
more
my
concerned
bad.
about
My bad.
the depth at the offensive line. Like, yo, there was a point. I'm not gonna lie to you. My mother-in-law was watching the game in there, right? She said, yo, she was like, hey, who comes in next at right tackle? And I was like, actually,
I don't
hang
know.
on. I was like, hang on. I had to think for me. I was like, oh yeah,
I don't
We
know.
signed Brett Toth back.
I didn't know. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm doing a play-by-play, and as soon as Driscoll goes down, I'm like, who we got next? And
That's what I said. I'm like, who the heck is going to, man,
listen, I asked the
this
chat.
is crazy. Like, why us? Like, did we sell our souls to win a Super Bowl or something? Like, why so many injuries every single week, man? It can't, I know injuries go across the league, but it can't be nobody at all compared to us. It can't be, man. Like, seriously. Like, this is ridiculous, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know medical staff, training staff. I don't know. But man, it seems like when you come over here, if you're going to be a Philadelphia Eagle, prepare to be sitting your behind down for two to 3 weeks because you're going to get hurt.
Hey, real quick, Mir Slat, and I know this was a long time ago you commented, but you said that we live in the moment. I know you commented it on my play-by-play, and I said it, but I've been saying that since the very first play-by-play we did. That was my mantra. So I thought you watched that and was telling me to get into that mode. But, it
What?
is what it is. It's all love in the game. But, yeah, I'm saying
What you
this
talking about,
now.
bro?
Nah, it was something different. It's like from the
Yeah, I
last
think
one.
he's talking about something in his play-by-play.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jalen gets back. I'm saying this now. Jalen gets back. Jalen and TF13 is going to be a dangerous duo. Mark my words. That's if the coaching staff allows TF13 to play, because I'm going to hold on to it. And I can't wait to figure out if he played in the first quarter, because I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope he would just play.
If you see when I seen the last 3 weeks, the only 3 weeks that he played, like, it's no way. And I hated it so bad that Doug Peterson said that we're gonna have to take snaps away from him. No, you're not. You don't have to. You just want to, because once again, Howie Roseman is telling you, oh, I'm paying this guy 21 million. I'm paying this guy 17 million. Oh, you need to put them on the field to verify what I did. I don't give a damn what you did, Howie. I want to win. Travis Fulgham right now, until I see otherwise, is better than Alshon Jeffrey.
See, and the crazy thing is that I understand what Doug's saying. Like, I get what he's saying, but like his messaging is so poor. Like, you got to handle that diplomatically. You got to be like, hey, look, man, naturally speaking, we're very short on wide receivers. Any receiver coming back is probably, what I'm saying, it's going to cut into some guys playing time here and there. But what I will say is this kid's he's sticking around. He will be a part of our offense, and we're going to scheme some things for this kid. This kid, he's here to stay. Like, you got to message it right, man. He just doesn't do that. Like, instead, he's over there, like the video that Mike showed me, throwing a water bottle in his mouth during a press conference. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get the messaging at times.
Hey,
Just like,
but I need y'all to answer. Y'all never
Howard.
answered me because I was asking y'all a question. Y'all never answered me about the Carson Wentz and Lamar Jackson situation. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was basically asking. I went through my whole soliloquy of saying all this and all that Carson Wentz is missing and what Lamar Jackson has and the scheme that he has. And a lot of people are saying because he won an MVP last year that he's better than Carson Wentz as a quarterback. And I feel as though he's not. And I think he proved that today with a loss.
No, listen, Lamar Jackson is a playmaker. Okay. He's an athletic playmaker. He's still developing. Yeah. He's still very much developing as a quarterback. Anyone with eyes that knows the position could have watched that game today and see he's got a lot of work back there. Now, can I understand a Raven fan saying like, hey, man, Carson might be a better quarterback, but I prefer Lamar Jackson because I prefer our system built around him. Like, yeah, I'm cool. I can go with that. Me personally, no, I wouldn't go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't personally. I mean,
here's what I will say. right now, Lamar Jackson with his team and Carson Wentz with our team, Lamar Jackson is the better player because of what he got. But if you put Lamar Jackson on this Eagles team, well, and he has to throw the ball and he's down by 17. Listen, we've seen Lamar Jackson when they're down. He was down against the Tennessee Titans. He was down against the Chiefs. When he gets down by double digits, he doesn't respond. Carson Wentz was down by double digits and responded. But if you're going to ask me, Lamar on his team and Carson on his team, Lamar's been having a decent year.
Yeah.
All right, can I ask you a question? Since you want to say that, last year, LeBron James did not make the playoffs. Giannis Antetokounmpo, or whatever the heck his name is, I forgot his name, the Greek freak.
There you go.
He won the MVP. Is he better than LeBron James?
No.
Exactly. So what are you saying, Mike? That makes no sense. I'm talking about the actual player. I'm not talking about no team. I'm not talking about what's around him. I'm not even talking about the scheme, bro. I'm talking.
But football is
the actual quarterback, which you see with your eyes. Don't give me none of that. Don't give me none of that. Don't give me none of that scheme, and don't give me none of them numbers and none of that. With your eyes, what you seen today.
Listen,
who was the better quarterback on the field?
Listen, would I take Lamar Jackson over Carson Wentz? No. But right now, the better player is the person who puts up the numbers. You can only judge by what you go off. Listen, just what if Tom Brady never had Bill Belichick? Maybe he's not the GOAT. Maybe he's a 6th-round draft pick. It's where you are drafted. Listen,
I don't give Tom Brady the GOAT.
If DK Metcalf was drafted to the Eagles, maybe he's not DK Metcalf, especially last year when we had Carson Walsh. You never know. This is the one sport that where you drafted matters. Where you're drafted matters. Who's on your team matters. Carson Wentz could be a heck of a guy in a different system. Possibly not, but it's too much unknowns. All I can say is this. Would I take Lamar Jackson over Carson, knowing what I know now with the guys who are on our team? No, because Carson's always playing from behind. And we know a kryptonite for Lamar Jackson is to get him down by 10. He ain't going to throw you back into the game. Keep him up by 10. He'll run you into a nice victory. So it's where you're at. Will Lamar Jackson be better than Carson on his team? No.
I'm making all these scenarios, man. I'm just trying to figure out who's the better quarterback.
I answered you. I would take Carson Wentz on the Eagles over Lamar Jackson. I answered you. What do you mean, bro?
No, what I'm saying is you say you would take him. I'm saying who is the better quarterback. You saying that you would take him is not answering the question, bro.
Okay, well, Carson's the better quarterback.
That's all I ask.
Lamar Jackson's the better football player because he's a football player, and you gotta anticipate that.
He's a better athlete. He's a better athlete. There's a difference because if you are better at your position that y'all both play, then you're the better football player. He's the better athlete. That's the difference.
Where we're going in 2020. Things change. You know what I mean? The reason Stephen Curry is so great is because his three-pointer. Take the three-pointer away, then he's not that great of a point guard. You can't take a Lamar's running away because that's what he does best, and that's going to be the future of the NFL. I love Carson Wentz. I defend Carson Wentz. He played a heck of a football game. We don't got to argue this point, but we can't diminish what Lamar Jackson does as a football player. He's not the best passer. That's why in certain situations he needs everything. He needs the Baltimore Ravens. Carson Wentz can thrive in almost any system because he's in a horrible system and he's not thriving, but he's balling out in certain situations.
Yeah. I do think that, look, off the Lamar Jackson comments, just because, like, look, I don't think he's the better quarterback. Like, he's just not. He's got a lot of development as a quarterback in himself, but the kid's a playmaker. I don't want to dump on the kid because, you know, the kid won MVP for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, he hasn't won a playoff game, just like Carson hasn't won a playoff game. Like, you know, he's got a lot of the same exact questions, to be honest.
Correct, because you can almost say Carson Wentz would have been the MVP too. So it's two MVPs kind of without a playoff win. They got to.
What I will say is this. I think this is Carson Wentz's team. I think Carson has proved that over the last couple of weeks. But what I will say is this: you drafted Jalen Hurts with that 2nd-round pick. You cannot go away from using him because with the offensive line the way it is, as bad as it is, the only times it looked like to me that we got decent push, it looked like we, definitely like had momentum going, was when we put Hurts and we had Carson in the game at the same time. The
And did you
defense is
see Carson
legitimately,
blocking? Yeah.
yes, exactly. Like the defenses legitimately had no answer for that. They didn't. And that's a really good defensive line that we just played. That is a really physical secondary. Like,
It's good all
I'll be
around.
honest with you, man. I think they got to keep that going. Like, I know Carson's not going to be out there like, dude, like, yeah, we need more two quarterbacks. He's not going to think that because he's Carson Wentz. He wants the ball. But I can tell you that from a scheme standpoint, it worked. It opened things up. I think you got to continue it.
Yeah, and wait. Let me say this again. I simply said I would take Carson Wentz over Lamar Jackson. So for just let's clear that air. But at the end of the day, you can't just say, well, quarterback is throwing, so that's what we got to judge him on. You can't say that because it's not the NFL no more. But Carson Wentz is the better passer. Carson Wentz can read defenses better. But if you want to really put it into I can't say the word in the stats. I mean, you can't defend 9 interceptions. Now, in context, there's a lot of reasons why he has that, which I defended him for time in and time again. But when you talk about something right now, I really don't want to argue anything, Carson Wentz or anybody, because the 9 interceptions are weighing us down. You can't just erase them. And I say that's uncharacteristic from Carson because he had 3 years in a row under 7 interceptions. So what changed? I want Carson of 2019. I don't need to go all the way back to 17. In 19, he didn't throw more than 7 picks. He got 9. You can't fully defend it, but when you watch Eagles games, you just see, wow, what is he playing with? Look what he's doing with these guys. We understand that. I would take Carson Wentz over Lamar Jackson, but you can't just say, well, he's not a good passer, so he's not a good football player. I mean, they're 5-1. Yeah, you can say another quarterback's there and they'd be 5-1 still. But we do not know. This is the ultimate team sport, and that's why who knows what Brady's career would be without Belichick. Simple and plain.
I got to get ready to jump off here in a minute, guys.
No. We all probably get off in a minute. You know what I mean? I think we all need to get off at the same time. You know what I mean? Just the BBP, man. We're a trio. You know what I mean? So my thing is real fast, and then we'll try to get to something else. Lamar Jackson to me, and I've been said this a while ago. I thought as though he was the new toy, and when people get new toys, they like to vote for new toys. Just like a lot of people was trying to vote for Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? He came into the game, got 1,000-yard rushing, and you know what I mean? It was a system, and he took the league by storm. I feel as though that's why he won the MVP. But you see it this year. The game is catching up to him. You've seen it today. The game is catching up to him. You know what I mean? And to me, I feel as though you've seen Lamar at his highest. I don't think he can get no higher than he was last year.
Either can Mahomes 50 touchdowns. Mahomes won't get another 50 touchdown season, but he's still a baller.
I don't know about
that.
That's
that's two different things, bro. His level is still up there like that. Correct. And another thing again with the system and the players that he has, he can still evolve past that. I don't think that Lamar Jackson can, bro. Like I don't think that he can come close to or eclipse what he did last year. Now Mahomes can probably get, it probably won't be this year. He could probably get another 50. I mean, we all know Russell probably won't win an MVP.
5K. 50 and 5K. That's hard. He's never gonna. He might get close, but that was
But if you don't even need 5K. If you get 50 touchdowns, you're winning the MVP every single year.
Okay, but I'm not talking about MVP. I'm talking about him being better than what he's going to be hard for him to be better than what he already portrayed because, again, look, they lost to the Raiders. People are figuring out Mahomes a little bit. I'm not saying he's buns. He's going to get his up and down beatings in the NFL. It's a dog-eat-dog league. But what I'm saying is this. No matter what we want to listen, and I'm not defending Lamar's better than Carson Wentz at the quarterback position, but we have to account for everything. And they're 5-1, and their only loss came to the Chiefs. So you got to give some respect, and that's why I like how we fought against a super Bowl contender.
But again, man, again, and like even in the Washington game, if you watch that game, he was buns. Like he was bad.
Who?
Lamar Jackson against Washington. He was bad. You want to talk about Carson being bad, but they got the win. You want to know why? Because of the defense. Because of the defense. He was bad. He had like 129 yards of passing. Like he was bad in that game. But nobody wants to talk about that because they got the dub because the defense showed
What
up.
do I always say? What do I always say? I always say people forget the mistakes you make in a win. They remember in a loss. We just so happen to keep getting losses. That's why we remember them. Simple. I say that every time.
Solo Bolo said, no, get to my guy. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, that's you. You could read it about me. He's talking about me.
He said, might sound like Joe DeCamera. I ain't gonna really give him that stamp. Joe DeCamera be tripping on Carson Wentz. I feel as though you're a Carson Wentz guy.
Listen,
so
bro, I support Carson Wentz all the time. This guy played a great game. Do not get me wrong, but we can't sit there and say Lamar is not a great player. He's not a great quarterback, but he's a great player. It's hard to see for him.
I just think he's a great athlete, bro. And I've been saying this.
I'm not categorizing him in one quarterback. He's a quarterback / running back. Simple and plain.
But Solo Bolo said Ike Reese. He said Ike Reese wants more Jalen Hurts. I have no problem with that. We've been saying this. I've been saying this. If he is your second round pick, because you look at second round picks, we just faced one in Quentin, right? A starting linebacker. If you're going to use his second round pick, use him. I'm not one of these dudes that's going to sit here and say, oh, well, they're using Jalen Hurts, so Carson Wentz should feel some type of way. He doesn't. You see when Jalen Hurts is in, what does he do? He blocks his behind off. He gives everything to his team. And that's what I need people to understand, man. You know what I mean? It's not just because Jalen Hurts is in the game. That's a dispersions on Carson Wentz. No, it's a second round pick. Use his behind. If he's going to help you win the game, I don't give a damn how many times you use him. Use him. Go ahead, y'all.
All right, well, yeah, Gate got to get off. So go ahead, Gate. You haven't been talking. Say your last piece, and we say our last piece, and we bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll say this about our defense, man. There are moments it looks good. There are moments where there are all kinds of mislapses and confusion going on out there.
That's right.
The biggest problem that bothers me about our defense is watching a team like Baltimore that absolutely, when it gets beat, and it got beat quite a bit today, it went after the football. It straight up went after the football. It went after the football like their life depended on it. I don't see that same urgency from the entire 11 players on the field on defense at times. And I feel like if we played with that type of approach at all three levels of the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't be in these situations, man. And I think that has to be discussed is this defense's lack of. We got to force turnovers more than this, man. I like the way Wentz played. I thought Wentz gutted it out. I did. I thought Wentz showed a lot of heart. At the same time, I got to say this, Mike. The fumbles got to stop, man.
We've been calling for that. That's just not. That's
this guy. Like, they got to stop Wentz.
Can I ask you a question real fast, though, Gates? He should have protected the ball, but that was a good play, man. I think that was more of a good. That was more of a good play than it was just like it wasn't like Wentz was carrying it like a loaf of bread, like how Michael Vick used to do, anything like that. It was just that.
But that is true, but we can't give him the benefit of the doubt on that because it happened too many other times. Like Danny fumbles. Listen, they call him Danny Fumbles for a reason, and we're fighting with him to be the best fumbler in the game. You got to count that. Listen, Carson Wentz played a great game besides that, and it was big. But again, Carson Wentz was not the reason we lost this game. If anything, he was the biggest reason why we almost won this game because the offensive line was putrid.
But yeah, I mean, we got, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be better, man. We got to create turnovers. Wentz has got to protect that football. Like, there are legitimate times this season to where the recklessness of Wentz with the ball has cost us games. I'm not putting all 4 losses on him because that's not fair. But you guys know, I've been a huge Wentz supporter. I believe in the kid's talent. I think the kid's tremendously talented. But we cannot keep turning the ball over. We can't. We cannot keep losing this turnover battle. We're going to keep losing games if we keep losing the turnover battle. It's just the truth.
Because that's
We
the
don't have enough.
fundamental. That's
Yeah,
the fundamental.
we don't have enough weapons to overcome that right now. We don't have the offensive line to overcome it right now. I know what you're saying, Reese. It's a really unfair expectation, but I don't know where else we can put the expectation on because the offensive line is the offensive line at this point. You know what I mean? Like, unless we get guys back, I don't know that it's going to get much better. I mean, he's got to quit turning it over, man. It's got to stop.
Yeah. But again, Carson Wentz is who brought us back in this game. He played a heck of a game. When you throw the last 7 passes on your back foot, there's a reason. Now, you could say, well, he should never did that. Well, he had to. They were breathing down his throat every single play. I was so shocked that it goes, here comes a blitz. They're about to get Carson. He throws it. Here comes a blitz. They're about to get Carson. He throws it. Here comes a blitz. They're about to get Carson. He throws it. He made plays when other quarterbacks wouldn't in them situations. All I can say. With that being said, go ahead and say your pieces.
That's pretty much it for me.
Stay Philly, stay fresh, y'all.
You already know. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to all 283. You guys, make sure you smash that like button wherever you're watching it. Look, we lost. Some encouraging signs, but I'm tired of the encouraging signs. Maybe it stops next week when we got the Giants, Cowboys bye week and Giants. So let's see how we do. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button on the way out. You guys know what time it is.